Hello, everyone. This is story time with a little bit encouragement in it. Welcome to my podcast, Encouraging Love, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Encouragement by Rose Love. I'm not going to hold you long. Let's get into the message. You can't defeat demons you enjoy playing with. Now, I'm going to say this again. You cannot defeat demons you enjoy playing with, is the subject today. Meaning, you want things to get better, but you don't want to stop doing or participate in things that is destroying you and destroying your life. You don't want to stop drinking it. You don't want to stop smoking it. You don't want to stop snorting it. You don't want to stop having sex with it, committing fornication with it, and adultery with it. All of us have something in our life that we have allowed to become a stronghold in our life that we enjoy having around, or we are become comfortable having it around. So the title of this is, like I said, you can't defeat demons you enjoy playing with. We all have things in our life that we have allowed to become strongholds in our life. We allow them things to become strongholds in our life. The meaning of an emotional, mental, spiritual stronghold is stuff that holds our mind, feelings, and will captive because we have allowed it to have power over us. We allow it to take over our mind and being to the point we become comfortable with it where it consumes us. Now, everyone has their demons that they have allowed in their life that they enjoy playing with, or they have become comfortable with, or they allow to be in their life. Now, lack of purpose can be one, or laziness can be one. I know there are times for me when I deal with laziness. I work all the time. Most of the time I'm working. And sometimes when I get off work, I'm tired and I don't want to do certain things. And I put it off and procrastinate. I do it later. And then there's other times when I'm well rested, but I'm just lazy. I just don't want to do it. And I put it off, I put it off, I put it off. And that is one of the things I deal with. That is one of the things that I deal with, laziness at sometimes. So it could be different things in your life that you're dealing with that causes you to have a strong hold in your life to where you let it consume you, or you let it hold you back from going forward the direction you have to go in your life. And everybody has, like I said, everybody has their demons that they're battling, that they're battled in the past, they're battling now, that have become strongholds in their life. Now I'm going to tell y'all a little short story because this is going to be a short video, hopefully not a long video. I remember when I was 17 years old, I was very, very young. Back then I didn't know God the way I know God now. But I was raised in a strict household. My mama was real strict. You know, she didn't let us do a lot of things. She was strict. She was one of those Christian parents. I was raised in a strict Christian household. And I met this guy. This guy was not raised the way I was raised. He was a little more tougher and rougher than I was. But I met him when I was 17. And he tried to talk to me, and I knew he wasn't the right person for me. I did all I could to ignore this guy, to ignore him, and he pursued me. He pursued me hard. No matter what I did, he pursued me. He was always there. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. And I never would look him in his face. I always look off and just be looking into a daze somewhere, you know, and he would always be right there in my ear. I really want to talk to you. I really want to talk to you. I mean, he pursued me hard to the point where he started to break down my walls, and he pursued me so much every other day to the point where I said, okay. I said, okay. I broke down my walls. I said, okay. I agreed to start seeing him and start dating him at 17. And he became my demon that I loved playing with. He became my stronghold, the stronghold in my life for a couple of years. I dated him from the age of 17 to the age of 21. Mind you, we was two different type of people. I was someone who was raised strict in a Christian household. He was someone that was tougher than I was. He wasn't raised with the same background I had. Let's just say that. So as I grow up, got a little older in the relationship from the age of 17 going into the age of 21, I started realizing there was different things in my life that I wanted for my life. And I knew that he was not going to be the man or the person that could go that direction with me. I knew he wasn't going to be husband material. He wasn't going to be the one that I was going to be suitable enough for me to marry, because I started dating when I was 17. I was real young. I didn't have expectations of what I was looking for at that age, but I knew he wasn't the one, but I still accepted him into my life. And he became that stronghold in my life. He became someone that became a big part of my life. I actually fell in love with him. He's, to the point where I actually had real feelings for this guy. But as I got up in age, and I got to the age of 21, I started to realize this is someone I cannot take into my future, because at the age of 21, I started realizing there was other directions I wanted to go. There was other things I wanted to do. I was no longer that 17-year-old girl that met him. I was now coming into womanhood, and I was coming into a woman. So there were certain expectations that I was wanting out of my partner that I wasn't expecting to have out of my partner at the age of 17. So I knew this guy did not have those qualifications to be my husband and to build a future with and to go into my future. And I knew at that point, at the age of 21, I had to let him go, because I was coming into womanhood. I was getting to a point where I knew I wanted something different in my life. And I had to let him go. And I did. It was tough, because sometimes saying it and doing is two different things. But I knew that I was wanting something different. I was wanting to do other things with my life. And I had to let him go. So I let him go. Now, as soon as I let him go, I started getting back in. I started going to church. And I got closer to God, got into the Word of God around this time. And as soon as I let him go and I started redirecting my life and focusing on the things I wanted, my whole life changed, you all. It was like a black cloud that was over my head disappeared and left, and it just evaporated and left. I started a new job, moved into my first home, got my first car, started my career, and started just doors all around me started to open. All around me, doors started to open. My whole life changed once I got rid of that demon in my life that I enjoyed playing with and that I allowed in my life. I got rid of that stronghold, and I got focused on the things that I was wanting in the direction I wanted to go. And that's how a lot of us are. We allow things in our life we know that's not going to compel us forward. We allow those things in our life. But in order to soar and go somewhere different, we have to let certain people and things go. And he was my demon I loved playing with that I allowed into my life. And my stronghold I had to let go. And my whole life changed. Doors started to open all around me. And I remember a friend of mine that I went to school with, she had moved to Florida. She came back home and she came to visit. And she told me, she looked at me, she said, Rose, you are doing good in your life. You are moved into your first home. You got your first car. You are in the career you want to be in. You're working. You're making good money. You're doing good for yourself. And she said, I thought I would have beat you. But you're doing good. You just seem like you're just doing everything around you. Doors are opening. And that's when I realized, myself, I realized she's right. Once I got rid of that man, that guy that was in my life, that was a stronghold, that was my distraction, and I started focusing on the things I wanted and started putting God first, everything in my life, doors started opening all around me. And guess what? As soon as I got rid of him, it wasn't long, it was a year later before I met my life's partner. And he came into my life, and he was everything that I was looking for. He had all the qualifications that I was looking for. And he became my life partner. And the thing about that is, if I never would have let the other guy go that was a part of my life, that was holding me up, that I knew wasn't going to be a part of, be the man that I needed in my life, I would have had that dead weight in my life, wouldn't move forward and really just open myself up to the directions, open myself up to things that was meant for me. So I'm just using a little bit of my own story because I think we all have had certain things in our life that have become strongholds and demons we love playing with or we have allowed around. Now, to defeat them, you have to realize you no longer need them and they no longer work for your life. That's what I had to realize. I had to realize I no longer needed him and he no longer worked for my life. He no longer fit into my life because the things that I wanted at 17, I expected out of in a man at 17 wasn't what I was expecting in my life as I was becoming a woman. I was becoming a woman now. I expected something different. I wanted a different type of man in my life. And I wanted something different in my life, and I realized that. And a lot of times when we look at it, defeating these type of things and we realize they no longer work for our life and we have to move those things out of our life, a lot of times that sounds easy to do, but it's really hard to do because everyone's not like me. Some people get these type of things in their life, have these demons that they love playing with and become a part of their life and these strongholds in their life. It's a process to get rid of because a lot of times, like I said before, you don't become comfortable with it and you allowed it there so long. That's your go-to. That's the thing you lean on. Like before, when I was talking about drinking it, there are some people that have allowed alcohol to be the demon they love playing with. Or they allow in their life they become a stronghold. Or smoking, drugs, sex, fornication, and adultery. And a lot of times once you start those things in your life, it sounds easy to stop doing. It sounds easy. I could just stop doing it. But it's hard to do because that has become a stronghold. And a stronghold is something that you have allowed to take over your will and your mind and your being to some point. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So that is your go-to thing. That's the go-to thing you depended on. Even this guy that I'm talking about that I met at 17, he even became someone that I depended on emotionally and mentally. Because he was still my go-to for those couple of years I was with him. So we allow those things to do that. But even though it sounds easy to do, but it's hard to do, you can do it. You still can do it because I did it. You can do it. You can come out of those things and do good in your life. But you have to get those things out of the way. Now, as for me, the things that helped me, I'm going to give you some of the things that helped me now. Removing that stronghold and replacing it with something that was healthy for me. I removed that stronghold, and that was just one of the strongholds that I brought before you, but there's a lot of other strongholds that's been in my life as well over the years now. There's a lot of strongholds that has been in my life over the years. But removing those strongholds out of my life and replacing it with something that was healthy for my life. I've realized that if I'm going to move one thing out of my life that's not healthy, that's not healthy for my life, I filled it with something that was healthy for my life. And there's another thing that I had that was a stronghold: eating. I don't eat. A lot of times I don't eat healthy. I love fried foods. I love all the things that I shouldn't eat, and I realized I had to change that. So I changed my diet. I took the things out of my life that was bad that I didn't need for my life, and I replaced it good things in my life that was healthy for my life to eat. That was healthy for me, and I changed my eating habit. So that's one of the things that helped me. Whenever I have strongholds in my life and I have things that's taking over my life, I'll be like, no, this is not healthy for me. I'm going to have to remove this out of my life and replace it with something else that's healthy for my life. And by doing that, I create a healthy stronghold, something that is healthy for me, okay? I don't only have that bad stronghold, but I'm replacing it with a healthy stronghold. And eventually that old stronghold that wasn't good for me gets on out of the way, and then I have this healthy stronghold in my life that is healthy for me. And that's what I'm doing every day. That become my normal. That become my habit. And the second thing I did, when you know better, you do better. When you know better, you do better. At the time that I allowed those strongholds in my life, I didn't know better. But when I knew better, I did better. That's another thing for me. Like when I started dating him at 17, I didn't know no better. I was 17. You know, at 17, we all have some strange stories or some strange stuff from the age of 17 until we come into womanhood and manhood that we didn't know no better. But then when you start to grow and you start to know better, you do better. I did better. I realized that wasn't what I needed, and he wasn't something that's going to be a part of my growth, and I let it go. And other things, the other strongholds, I let them go, and I replaced it with something better. So when you know better, you do better. That's one of the things I did. I knew better, I did better. Now, the third thing in my life I did was change the people, places, and things in my life that was negative strongholds to people and places and things that were positive strongholds in my life. I just like I said, like number one, I just got rid of the people, places, and things that was negative strongholds, and I replaced it with positive people, places, and things that was positive and supportive strongholds in my life. If it was friends and people that no matter who they were, I got them out of my life, and I replaced them with healthy people in my life, people that was there to help me to grow. Or places that I used to go that wasn't healthy, I started choosing healthier places to go. Or things, whatever it is, I replaced it with something positive and something better. And the last and final thing I did was the most important thing that I always remember each and every day. Be patient with myself. Be patient with myself. It's not going to happen overnight. And keep moving forward no matter what. And know that I will get there one step at a time. Be patient with myself. Brothers and sisters, I don't know who this for, but y'all know me. I am a deep thinker, and I get in my head. I guess that's why I'm such a motivational speaker, and I do the things I do, bringing encouraging messages for people's lives and bringing spiritual word to people. I had this in my spirit. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I brought it to you. So whoever's in the sound of my voice, I hope it blessed you, and I hope it helps you. You know, I gave you a little bit of my life story, because in my videos I like to share a little bit about myself. I can't bring you no videos or bring you no encouraging message in life message if I hadn't been through it myself. A lot of these videos and a lot of these things I bring before you, these are things I've been through. These are things I have faced when it comes down to encouraging messages in your life. So God bless you, brothers and sisters. Know that I love you. I love you. Wherever you at in part of the world, have a blessed, beautiful, wonderful day, night, evening, or morning. God bless. God bless.